You're watching Adorama TV.
Hi everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Adorama TV's iPad app reviews. I'm Mark Wallace. Well, over the past couple of weeks, we've been looking at Adobe's new iPad apps. They really have the photography world talking. And this week, we're looking at Adobe's Color Lava. And this app is just, I think it's awesome because of its ability to mix and match colors and then take those and export them instantly into Photoshop CS5. It's an app that I just love playing with, and I think you will too. So let's take a closer look at Color Lava. Color Lava is an application that allows you to create color palettes and then export those to Photoshop, and it's really a fun application actually. So what it has is, before we start actually, the thing that we need to do is connect Color Lava to Photoshop, and it interfaces with Photoshop CS5 or higher. So to do that, the very first thing we'll need to do is click the Photoshop icon in the lower right-hand corner, and you'll see I have a connection set up from Photoshop. Now, to set this connection up, let me show you on Photoshop how we did that. So what I'll do here is in Photoshop, I go to the Edit menu, I'll go down to Remote Connections, and then I'll type in a service name. I've just named this Photoshop Mark Laptop, so I know it's my laptop, not my desktop. And then I've set up a password, and normally I'd hit OK. I'm gonna hit cancel so I don't mess up my connection. Now, once I've done that, on the iPad, I now see Photoshop Mark Laptop. When I click that, it's going to ask me to enter my password. I'll enter that and then hit OK. And now I'm connected to Photoshop. Now what I can do is I can start making color palettes. So let me show you two different ways to do this. The first way, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a photo. So I'm going to go to my saved photos. I'm going to bring in this photo that I shot in India. And I want to look at these colors here, these yellows and reds. And so I'll say use. And what we'll see now is we have this guy in a nice truck in India. And I really want to start playing with these colors. And so what I'll do is I'll go in here. Now, what happens is when I touch this, it's just like real paint, basically. You'll actually get paint on your fingertip. Not really, but you'll see what I mean in a second. So when I start moving this around here, you'll see that what I've sampled with my finger shows up there. But now that I have this fake paint on my finger, if I go over to somewhere that's white, you'll see that I've smudged that with some of this yellow, and I've made a new color. You can see that reflected right there. So as I pick up more of this yellow here, if I go, I'll see that I'm smudging it in there. And if I want to clean my finger off, well, over here, there's a little dish of paint cleaner. So you can see that as I do that, it cleans my finger off. It's sort of cool. And so now I have a clean finger, and so I can start picking up some just pure yellow or orange here. But now my finger is dirty, so if I mix it, I'm going to get some yellow over there. So what you need to do is either, if you don't want to mix the paints, you need to clean off your brush, and then you can pick up pure colors, clean off your brush. Maybe I'll go to the next color here. I want this brown, and so that looks pretty cool. And I don't want that dark brown. I want maybe some of this light brown right here. That looks cool. And you can see I can start building this color palette based on the photo that I have, and I can maybe get some of this blue right there, and oh, I've mixed up this brown, I need to wash off my finger. So I just want that blue right there. There we go. And so you can see that we're getting some of these really nice colors here. Now, what we can do, that's one way to do this. There's a different way to do this as well. So what I'll do is I'll hit this X to get rid of that, and I'm going to say new, so I don't have any of those colors. I can start from scratch. So if you know how to mix paint, I can go in here and say, okay, here's a bunch of red, and I'm just mixing that on there. Then I want to add in some yellow, so I'll mix that on there. Now I want to mix these together, so you can see as I'm smooshing these together, I can start bringing these down and mixing them up just like real paint. And then I can choose in there exactly what I want. So I want maybe a nice orangey look, so I'm mixing that until I get what I want. That's what I want. Now I want some of that yellow. I want some of that red. I'm going to add some blue in there, so I'll add some blue. You can see that right here, I've got some blue. I want to add some more of this red right here. And you can see that now I can start mixing these together to get all kinds of new colors. And it's pretty cool that you can do this just like normal paint. And just like I did before, if I'm doing this, I'm actually pulling these colors together. My finger's got paint on it, so I need to clean it off if I want just pure blue to come in there. Now I can get all these colors. Now, if you really are a painter or an artist that knows more about colors, you're going to get better color palettes than this, but it gives you a good idea of what you can do with this application. Now, what I want to do, though, is I want to throw these over to Photoshop. So I'll go over here, and you'll see I have this color palette. So I want to send this over to Photoshop. So what I'll do is instead of just tapping it once, I'm going to double click on that, and you'll see that Untitled 6 shows up here, and it's got all of my different colors with all the different color information. So it's got the RGB, the HSB information, and the web-friendly color information as well. So I can just say send to Photoshop, and what it's done is it's added those to the swatches. So if we look over here in Photoshop on my swatches, you can see that there are my colors. So it's this sort of orange color, the red, the yellow, and this other orange here. So those are the colors that I mixed up. So now those are available. So if I'm retouching something or want to do some layout when I need some specific colors, I have those. Now the other thing I can do is I can just email these, and this will open up an email, and I can send these colors over to somebody so that they can use them. And what it does is that's how you use all this color information, so they can manually load these in. So it's really nice if you're working with a client and you need to make sure that your colors are exactly the same. Well, Color Lava is a blast to play with. In fact, I wish Adobe Easel had some of the abilities to mix and smoosh paint around like Color Lava does, and so maybe Adobe will change that in the future, and we'll have sort of a merging of Easel and Lava, which would be terrific. But as a way to choose and export colors, I just don't think you can beat this app. So check it out for yourself. Well, thank you so much for joining me this week. Remember, if you have an iPad app that you'd like me to review, you can send your suggestions to me at askmark@adorama.com, and we might just use your suggestion on an upcoming episode. Again, thanks for joining me this week, and I'll see you in the next episode.
This episode is brought to you by Adorama TV. Visit the Adorama Learning Center, where you'll find photography tips and techniques, links to the gear used in this episode, and related videos. For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit Adorama.com. And the next time you're in New York City, visit our store, located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue.